You see these dudes walking around with 3 goats in a building called Zeus, sponsored by Zeus, and you think they ain't sell their soul, bro? That's
over there fixing the map.
Every night, a new Jezebel.
Every night,
Look at him.
You know, every time you mess with her, she leaves soul ties. Yeah. I want something left. Look, man, everything ain't a joke.
He knows it's not a joke. They don't give a fuck. Dean was asking, who idea was to bring these goats here? Blue Male. Go look at who his father is, bro. Go look at how deep connected this shit really be. Look who his father is, and then look at the network that he pushes, and look look how they act on baddies. They're all demonically possessed. Of course they are. They're baddies under Zeus. Nigga, it's energy. All this shit is tied in. That's why.
Alright, so I saw this vid, and you know what? I wanted to do some research on who Lemmy dad is. Hey, who is Lemmy's dad, right? That's what I wanted to know. Watch this. Alright, so this right here is Lemmy's father. Okay? Lemmy's father. Look at the first two pictures that came up. Look what he's doing with his hands. Look what he's doing. All right, so that's going. Them hand gestures are going to come in a couple seconds. Give me a minute. But here he is right here, posted up with the Big Beebs himself. Posted up with Big Beebs himself. All right, so it say here that Lemmy's dad is the first bishop of Israel in the 2,000-year history of the Christian church for any denomination, and he represents 6.5 million members of the Church of God in Christ. All right, he was a pastor for 20 years. He pastored 2 churches in Detroit, and he's been in TV broadcasting for 44 years. Wow, 44. Dear, what church is that? All right, I'm going to tell you. So this is the church, right? Church of God in Christ, and it was founded by Bishop Charles Harrison Mason, right? Emphasis on the Mason. Watch this. First of all, tell me him and Lemmy's dad don't look alike. I think they look a little similar, but this is his tomb grave little placard thing. Now here you could clearly see Charles Harrison Mason founded the Church of God in Christ in the late 1890s. He was born a slave, and they have chapters in Mexico, Haiti, and all these other places. But what do that say at the bottom? It says Mason is entombed in the Mason Temple in Memphis. Some people gonna say, well, that doesn't mean it's a Masonic temple. But guys, look at the checkerboard. This is the original picture of his fucking casket when they buried him inside the temple. This is what it looks like now. Look at the colors on the ceiling. You remember those colors from that one building on the Epstein Island, don't you? You know what colors those. You know whose colors those are, right? Now this is concerning the goats, right? The goats that the Bulls like, yo, why they got 3 goats? I'm gonna tell y'all why. So look what the goats mean in mysticism, right? Strict judgment, unrefined or hidden spiritual forces, and mystical processing or banishment of communal sin. So basically, this is a ritual they do during Yom Kippur, and they tell you that they don't do it anymore, that the practice has been banned, but yet here the fucking goats is on AB and Dean stream, right? So they believe in duality. This is a practice that a lot of Masons, do practice. But in this particular one, it involves choosing 2 different goats, one to be sacrificed to God, quote unquote, and the other to be sacrificed to Azazel. Now, they're going to say that this goat is pushed off a cliff and that they say the cliff itself is named Azazel. But guys, newsflash, Azazel is not the name of a cliff. It's the name of a fallen angel. The thing about duality is that things can have more than one meaning, but they can have specifically 2 meanings. Like, for example, the color red could mean seduction, like I was talking about yesterday, but it could also mean danger. It could mean passion and power, but it could also mean don't open this door, because you might die, right? So with that being said, they sacrifice one goat to God because they think it means loving kindness, while the other god gets quote unquote pushed off a cliff, and that's supposed to account for their communal sin. All right. Now they believe that sacrificing the communal sin goat, all right, is not sacrifice to a demon, but a symbolic gift or a bribe to the forces of harsh judgment. So they're bribing forces of harsh judgment so that it will stop accusing Israel of things, of impurities and stuff like that. So boom, you can see it right here. It says the ritual of the two goats. This is what they do. They allot one goat to God, the others to Azazel. They lovingly sacrifice the first goat to God. Then the second god, they just throw it off the cliff, say, fuck that goat. Yeah, he's going to die unceremoniously before he even touches the ground. And this is the story of why they do this ritual. So basically, the king of Moab named Balak, interesting name. His name is Black. He sends messengers to Balaam. Now, who is Balaam? Balaam is, as you can see at the bottom, a pagan prophet. That's how they describe him. Who was asked by Balak to curse the Jewish people. Right, and he was thwarted by a talking donkey who could see the angels that Balaam could not originally see. And so when Balaam tries to curse the Jews, God sits there and tell him, "Oh, no, don't curse them. Actually, you should be blessing them." So whenever he tried to curse them, they all his words turned straight into blessings as they come out of his mouth. Mind you, whoever wrote this knows about duality, what I was just talking about, because look what he says. Some moderners might find the fates of both goats troubling, but there are depths to Jewish rituals of which they cannot even dream of. You don't even know what the fuck they got going on. That's what he basically saying. This what I be meaning when I say they got us sitting there watching rituals and we don't even know. Look what he said at the bottom. There are two ways. Why two? Why not five? Why not six? Dualism. As mutually exclusive as they are fundamental, right? Our existence is either a result of intention or of accident. So it could be two things at once, right? Two things at once. Okay. Now, y'all, this is why reading is fundamental, right? So what does it say? It says, of course, it is super easy, almost like taking candy from a baby, to disabuse a Masonic whiner and complainer, hollering that you or I have slandered the Masons by denying their orders, quote unquote, Christian attributes, right? All right, so here he's talking about the first three things that a Mason has to do, like the first three levels, basically, right? So he says, he asked them about the name, like he asked them to reveal the name of their God, their sacred God that they be praying to, right? So it says Christians know the name of God is Jesus, but the Mason is denied knowledge of the name of the God that Masons pray to until he finds out that the name isn't Jesus, right? And then it says down below, the name, which I'm not going to say out loud, has three syllables and it represents a composite God. And the composite God name, the three of them are Yahweh, Baal, and Osiris. Interesting. Yeah, and just for y'all information, the name of God in the Bible and Torah is Yahweh. So there's that. So up top, it describes that the three Masons doing this ritual are all from Babylon. Funny. But then at the bottom, it says, in accepting the devil God with that name as the name of God, the man doing this ritual rises in level of masonry. So they basically leveled up and now they're ready to start doing evil, weird, sick stuff in the name of that deity, which is why they do these hand gestures. Now, remember what I was talking about, the hand gesture that Lemmy's dad was doing in them two pictures, right? Whoa, is that George Washington, the Mason? Oh, look at the checkerboard. Oh, Karl Marx is Jewish doing the same thing. Oh, look at black people could be Masons too. Oh, look at the Pope. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at Michael Moore. He's a Democrat. Funny. Look at her doing the same thing. Long story short, guys, this the type stuff they be doing right in front of us, putting it in the streams, putting it, telling the celebrities to do stuff like that. They all doing the same stuff right in front of us. Boom, bam. They don't want nobody to know. And then, just look. You got people sitting there sacrificing goats and stuff. I'm guarantee you, they're doing a lot worse. By the way, where did I get this information from? My codex. I'm telling you. You see this? Full of books. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.